1 second. Let me clear it. Okay, that's better. All right. Okay, is that everybody on? Okay, perfect. Let me get this. So first of all, thank you all for joining me this evening for our District 5 community meeting. Can everybody hear me okay? Thumbs up. I just want to make sure. I haven't had a community meeting in a while. And I wanted to have the opportunity to re-engage with my constituents and the people I serve and community members in District 5. That's the reason for this meeting. I look forward to hosting quarterly meetings moving forward. So you will hear from me 4 times a year. And also I do also get onto the neighborhood planning unit meetings, the neighborhood association meetings as well. Along with me tonight, I have my board colleagues, Cynthia Briscoe Brown, board member, Tamara Jones, and Michelle Olympiadis. And feel free to chime in on a couple of things that I will be highlighting that the district is doing as a whole. So as we begin, I will just do a brief PowerPoint presentation of some of our updates as a district. And then we have Q&A at the end of this presentation. So we'd like to start talking about some of the things that we're doing. This is September is National Attendance Awareness Month. And it's something that we're pushing very hard with administration to make sure that our students know that they matter and that we want you to be at school. There's a lot of things that happen in our lives, but this is one initiative we really want to highlight this month as Attendance Awareness Month. The schools are rolling out their awareness as well, but we want to make sure that all our students and parents, teachers, and everyone know that they matter, and we want you to show up and be ready to learn, work for the district, and parents want you to be involved as well. Any board members want to chime in on National Attendance Awareness Month, you may do so. If not, I'll go to the next one. So one of the things that we have been doing as a district is a partnership with free tutoring services. I had the opportunity to meet Paper, this name of the company, Paper, about 2 years ago when they approached the district as far as trying to get free tutoring service that's in conjunction with our library system, but now it is a part of APS in my backpack. So now APS students have access through my backpack versus the Fulton County Atlanta Library Services that they were originally partnering with to offer free tutoring. It's a live person that they can chat with that operates 24/7, and They focus on K through 12 writing support. And so this is just information for you all. I'll be happy to provide you with the link that you can have access to if you know any students or if your student need additional help with tutoring. This is something that's really near and dear to my heart. It's Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. As your school board member, back when I was first elected, I think it was 3 months in March of 2018, as a new board member, we had a student that went to Miles Elementary, a 10-year-old boy who committed suicide. And since then, I've been advocating for more mental health supports in our schools because his death affected me so much. At the time, my son was 9, and I just couldn't imagine losing a child so early in life. And you know, kids go through a lot that we don't understand, and sometimes they have a hard time processing certain things that they feel or emotions. And that situation led me to push for and write the trauma-informed policy that we have now that the board adopted, which provide a holistic approach to trauma-informed care, but also services for mental health in our schools. And so with that policy, we were able to allocate $3.8 million to mental health services. And with that, we were able to have a system of care in the schools that provide that consists of a mental health professional, a behavior professional, nurse, counselors, and additional support for our students. So with September being Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, if you know anyone in crisis, please have them text, call 988.
Erica, I did want to say one thing on that one.
Yes,
Another thing that students can do is, because we're using the Say Something Anonymous
yes,
program, that's not just for threats in school. It's also if students notice that one of their peers seems to be, in some distress, potentially suicidal, or, might need help, that this is a way of connecting them with possible help, is to report something through the Say Something Anonymous.
yes, that is very important because we do have that at all our schools, and it's not just for anything negative. It could be for something positive, but it's not all towards violence. Just like you said, Tamara, you can use that line if you need to reach out to someone. We have someone there 24/7. Also this month is the art contest for National Attendance Month. And so we'll have all of any drawings in the poster contest, which will be for all our students to participate in, but there will be one winner that will be selected in each category, which is our pre-K, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, one middle school and one high school. And so you're able to have your students participate in this art contest. And then also I wanted to highlight, and I had the opportunity to highlight the 9th grade academy at the Collier Heights Neighborhood Association meeting. Collier Heights is one of those communities that a lot of the students attend Frederick Douglass High School. And so with the launch of our 9th grade academy, I do have a quick video to show about what we're doing for those who haven't had a chance to take a tour, and just give you some perspective on what we're doing with our 9th grade STEM Academy at Douglass, for Douglass High School, but it is at the Margaret Fain Elementary School. Okay. Okay, I have trouble with volume. Nobody's able to hear the video. Let me do one thing here. speakers.
Board Member Mitchell, see if
Yes.
your volume is on the computer.
My volume is at 100. Let me do audio speakers. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, there we go. All right, let's try again. Are you able to hear it now? Okay.
Board Member Mitchell, you may want to stop share, then share again and click share sound.
Okay. Stop share. I'm gonna share again.
Click share screen and then share sound. And then the video should play.
Oh, I see it down here. Okay, thank you. Let me do this. Let me put it in. Okay, there. Are you able to hear?
I'm Dr. Lisa Herring, the very proud Superintendent of Atlanta Public Schools, and I am extraordinarily pleased to be standing here in the hallway, the lobby area of the Frederick Douglass 9th grade STEAM Academy, where this is historic for Atlanta Public Schools, where we've created the opportunity to take our Douglass High School Astros in their very first year and have them on an off-site campus to help build their capacity for success as they continue throughout APS. Why is that important? Because we believe that in the 9th grade, that's a very critical opportunity to help shape behaviors and practices, to help build a stronger bridge from middle school to high school, and most importantly, to help to prepare them for greater success in the upper grades during the high school level. We're proud of Principal Forestella Taylor and her full staff, Dr. Woolfolk and the cluster, for ensuring that the school has what it needs in order for this to be successful.
We're super excited about the establishment of the 9th grade academy. When we look at the trend data over the years, our students here at Frederick Douglass High School have struggled quite a bit in the areas of academics, social improvement and awareness, and also behavior.
We are not only proud, but we're prepared for a very successful school year. Most importantly, a successful school year for our scholars, because we want them to also know that they're making history, and that's what we do in APS.
Apologize for that. I'm trying to get back over to the other screen. All right, so that's just a quick overview of the 9th grade STEM Academy for Douglass High School. I'll be happy to take questions about this at the end of the slide, just if you want to hang on, if you have any questions. Be happy to answer those. Okay. Sorry about that. I skipped a slide. Okay. And this just a highlight for KSC, Coretta Scott, Young Women Leadership Academy. And their robotics program received a $10,000 grant, and it's to really push women in technology and the cost of travel registration for competition. So that's a highlight for the Douglass cluster. But also remember that KSC is a district-wide school, so anyone within the APS city limits can attend. And so wanted to talk about one of the governance models that we are now doing as a board is our student outcome focused governance model. This is something we adopted last year when we rolled out our goals and guardrails, which are aligned to our strategic plan. Within the goals and guardrails, the superintendent and her administration have their interim goals, or what we call SMART goals. And so here's a look at what we do. We're going to be doing every board meeting is monitoring and focus on a goal. And this is the numeracy proficiency goal 2, part of our goals for our superintendent administration that we've been monitoring. And so this is just an overview of that goal and that progress monitoring that we did this month at our September meeting. And this is where we are as we're trying to improve our numeracy proficiency for all students, but more so focus on grades third grade through 8th grade. And so here is the target is in the blue, and the actual is in the orange. But I will say, keep in mind that these percentages, baseline percentages, have kind of dipped a little bit because of the pandemic, and students wasn't face to face during that time. And so we do have opportunity, is what I call, for growth. And then also like to highlight that APS, Atlanta Public Schools, is celebrating a 150-year anniversary. And these are just some signature events that we will be doing as a district. And we would love to have people involved, and how to get involved, to tell your story. If you attended any Atlanta Public Schools or work for any Atlanta Public Schools, we would like to have you involved in celebrating the 150-year anniversary. I know Keith can put a link in the chat of how you can get connected, but these are some of the signature events that will be rolled out through the end of the year. Well, next year, 2023. I also just wanted to talk about some things I've been doing as your board member in District 5. I do sit on a policy review committee, and these are some policy ideas, or I've been thinking about based on what I've been hearing across the district and the United States that have been concerns different parents and constituents. And so one we already did was review the attendance policy. So that's a check mark off of that. Instructional equity policy is something that I've been kind of researching. Staff awareness policy is another one. Substitute policy and the impact of gun policy. We have a very flexible gun law in the state of Georgia, but we still have local control as a school district. And I'm not saying we're not enforcing no tolerance with guns or weapons, but there's different things that I have been researching that calls for a conversation, may not be a policy, but a conversation. The other thing I'm working on, legislative priority, is a human trafficking policy and protocol for every school district in the state of Georgia. I've been working with some of our legislators at the state capitol to try to figure out if there's opportunity for that, and also our state attorney general. Here's some initiatives that I've been working on, and we saw, well, not saw, but we have the opportunity being here in Atlanta with a lot of Fortune 500 companies, Microsoft, Apple, Dell. And so one of the things that we have been entertaining is girls in gaming. And I can show you a quick video about Dell Technologies and pushing our young girls and our students into more of a tech. This is a highlight for one of the students. I don't know, I need to stop and reshare. Just give me one moment. Oh, I gotta do it again. Oops. is not one of our students, but is one of these students that participated. Okay, sorry. And that is participating in girls' game.
I am proud of the community center our team built. It is beautiful, detailed, and well designed in Minecraft. We also made it inclusive and accessible. We had fun recording in Flipgrid too. I also made new friends that I met because I was a part of Girls Who Game. Thank you to our coaches and mentors.
Girls Who Game has taught me so much. It's taught me to be a collaborative team member and how to adapt to new situations. And when I saw the Minecraft worlds that we built, it made me realize that if we accept everybody and we can make everything accessible to everyone, we can have a connected and strong community.
This is a fun experience. I liked working with my team to build an accessible and inclusive hospital in Minecraft.
Girls and Allies Who Game has shown me that by making things accessible, sustainable, and equitable, people will feel more like a community and feel like they belong to one. Showing that you care and are willing to listen will make the community feel more connected to each other.
I'm proud that I made new connections with most of the girls and Allies Who Game. I'm also proud that I was able to join and build new relationships with others.
One thing I've taken out of the experience of being in Girls Who Game is that you can't build a community with one person. It takes trust, kindness, and people working together to be able to make something amazing happen.
It's fun. I love the community and the teamwork. Being a part of Girls Who Game.
Teacher has helped me by making me feel very successful with myself and helped me grow as a learner and making me feel more aware of my actions and how they affect others. I also learned what makes a strong community and how to collaborate with others to reach success.
Hi, I'm Ainsley, and today I'm going to be talking about my reflection. My reflection was that I learned how to work better with a community. Because sometimes for me, it can be very hard to work with other people, because sometimes I get too frustrated with other people and I blame it on other people. But now I realize that I shouldn't do that and I should just have fun and enjoy it.
So that is a little bit about what that program offers for the kids, and I just love it because they learn from each other. They learn about their community. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the game Minecraft, but that's what they were referring to. And so with that, I look at that as an opportunity to engage our girls, especially being that in the United States, from what I've learned is that there's 1.5% women that is in the engineering field, and that lack is due to not having a K through 12 computer science curriculum, but something like the Dell Technologies Girl in Gaming enforces that type of curriculum. I'm not saying we don't have curriculum, but I'm just saying overall school districts across the nation might not have a K through 12 computer science curriculum, but this is something I feel like is added value and that can really help improve some of the outcomes with our students, but also give our young women motivation and confidence and teach them how to work with each other. So that's one of the things that I've been working on and looking into for District 5. And then we have the launch of bonus tracks at Frederick Douglass High School, which is a partnership that I've worked on since 2019, which will launch this year. I'm super excited. They basically, with bonus tracks, it gives our students, and I'll show you a link really quickly, the opportunity to take a course after school. So it's like 90 minutes once a week, I believe, and learn about the business of the music industry. And once they finish, before they finish, but they learn about the music, they have different execs that will mentor them. And once they finish the program, they have an opportunity to do an internship with Capitol Records in Los Angeles or receive a $25,000 scholarship to continue studying, a course of study in the music and business. It could be marketing, it could be Music management could be a lot of different things at their college they choose to go to. The other thing I would like to share is Young Authors Publishing. This is a unique opportunity that I think will benefit our students. And basically what it does is focus on our Black and Brown students. It enforced the writing stories, writing their own stories, writing their own narrative. And so far they have published like 36 children books, and with the books and what they partnership with and the sales from the books go into a savings accounts for the students. And so I think it's very empowering, and it gives our students opportunity to express themselves, but also enforce penmanship or writing, I would say. Other than that, that's all I have for just an overview for District 5. And I'm open to taking any questions that anybody may have. And I'll roll it over to Keith for that.
Yep. So thank you, Board Member Mitchell, for that. And so now we have reached the public comment portion of tonight's community meeting. And so how we typically do it is, if you have a question from the community, we ask that you raise your hand so we could put you in the queue. Now we do have quite a few attendees here, and so we ask that you do get directly to your question so that we can ensure that we do have enough time for response and enough time to hear from everyone. So Board Member Mitchell, with that, I do see Akeem Williams is the first with his hand up, and so we'll go with him first. You can come off of mute, Akeem.
Hello. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Board Member Mitchell?
Hello, Akeem. How are you?
I'm all good. So I got a few questions. I sent you an email earlier. I don't know if you had a chance to glance at it. But what are your goals for like us as District 5 this year? Like, what are some of your goals that you look to accomplish this year? What's going to be different between this year and like last year?
Okay. So this year, I want to focus more on what are the areas of opportunities that I can work with parents on. So when I try to establish goals for District 5, it's based off what the District 5 community needs, not what I think you need, what we all come together and decide what we would like to see happen and change. And so I would like to hear from you regarding what you think some of the areas and a priority should be for District 5. It's not just me as one person, it's us together.
Yes, ma'am. A little bit that I think should be like a priority is like accountability and leadership. I feel like top down, when you have issues, they're not resolved in an orderly fashion, and some stuff just gets swept under the rug because you just get tired of following up. I know that's something that I don't want to experience as much this year. I would just look forward to better accountability, and when there's an issue or a situation that is like solution oriented rather than just a pending cycle. I'm gonna move on to my next question. How can we as a community or a team plan to address the COVID related learning loss that has happened to our students?
Yeah, so we've been working on that since we rolled out our recovery plan when Dr. Herring transitioned in, because we knew that that would be an area of focus. So through what we established with our strategic plan and our goals and guardrails, that is supposed to support the areas that is supposed to address those areas, not support, but address those areas. And so as part of the strategic plan, and I don't know if you had a chance to view it from a governance model, we have to direct the administration on what we as a board say the priorities are. And that is through that document, which is our strategic plan. Then we follow up on it with the goals and the guardrails to reinforce what we need to see happen in our strategic plan. Now, if you're talking about individual, isolated type of situations, then I do believe that every child should have an independent learning plan. And I think that's one of the things that we have rolled out in with the goals and guardrails for each student. And I know Dr. Herring has pushed that out as well. So basically the independent learning plan gives students, and it's not an IEP, it gives students the opportunity, one, to find out where they are, two, to give them the support that they need to get them where they need to be. And that's what we call as equity. We do also have an equity department that really push making sure that we are meeting students where they are. And if you experience something that is not happening, please let me know, because we are 51,000 students. And so that's,
Yes.
mhm.
It's like, so we always hear this, and I know we get into this a lot, but it's always, we're hearing this word equity. And we say that the resources are available for the students, but sometimes I'm finding that the resources, the district may be providing the resources, but then it's up to the principals to decide if they want to use those resources or not. If they deem that they don't want to use certain resources, we don't feel that team spirit. It's almost like, okay, we're going to decide what is best for your student, and you take it, and you, or there's nothing else. Like when I was in school, and not so long ago, it was like a discussion almost, like, okay, this is what we agreed on, this is what the majority voted on. It was almost like a collaborative practice, but I'm not getting that so far, and it's almost a little disappointing. But I mean, I'm optimistic. I know you all also wrote that with the APS 5 initiative for engagement and everything, and stuff is looking a little bit better, but I mean, I'm still optimistic.
Okay. I'm just taking notes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I'm gonna move on to the next question. It's a few. So just like you said, or how do you plan to expand the equity in District 5 with your time on the board this year? Are we gonna, well, I already heard you said you're gonna have a few more community meetings, but how is that gonna look for us as engagement?
So there's a couple of things that took place when I came on the board. I was a part of the equity task force that helped to write the equity policy, which we have now. With the equity policy that we have, we were, and within that policy, we requested an office that was dedicated to equity. And so when Dr. Herring transitioned, we had equity and social justice. And so the work that is coming out of the equity office should address a lot of the equity concerns that a lot of equity concerns of the district, but also we are doing an equity audit at this time. I don't know if it's completed or not.
Can you hear me? I think we just lost Ms. Mitchell, board member Mitchell.
Yeah, we lost her. She's actually getting ready to come back on.
Okay.
To that. Any other board members wanted to chime in until we get her back on?
I can do that.
Okay.
I think what Erica was getting ready to talk about was our implementation of the equity policy. I was also on that equity task force and actually chaired it as we moved it to its conclusion. And there's Erica, so I will just turn it back over to her again.
I'm sorry, some kind of connection. And I can't say, well, I'm at the school board office, so I blame it on APS. No, I'm just joking. Anyhow, with the equity audit, I don't know how much I was cut off, but I was saying that the policy, okay, so the policy that we wrote, and yes, Cynthia is right, she was part of that whole committee, she did chair it. We had dedicated an office to focus on equity, not just equity, but social justice. And so when Dr. Herring transitioned in, that was one of her areas that she really wanted to focus on, social justice and equity together. And so with that, we are doing an equity audit. The audit will determine where the areas of inequities are in the school district. They will give us that data and we'll come back and align to how do we address it from a solution standpoint. And from that, it's a lot of moving pieces, because sometimes you need resources, sometimes you need to reevaluate some policies, because policies are what we write and use to direct the school district. It could be regulations, it could be protocol, it could be process, it could be a lot of different buckets. So with that equity audit, we'll get that information back and then determine where we need to address those areas of inequities. So that's a process within the whole. And from there, you will start to see some changes on the school level.
Okay.
Does that happen? Now, if you talk about, and that you did mention something that a lot of parents do bring to my attention and other board members, is that you see one school, hold on, let me not say that. The principals have flexibility and autonomy. Okay. So they can choose what they feel they want to bring in or not. I would say, and I think you have tried to go and be on the Go teams and the PTA so you can have a voice and a seat at the table. You also being a guardian and also a recent grad, well, not so recent, but you're not too long disconnected from high school. You provide a strong voice on especially your experience, but also you being a guardian now, the experience of your
sisters. No, you're
it's
fine.
okay, I can say it, sister. Okay,
Yes,
so I
ma'am.
don't want to put the business out there.
No, you're fine.
Having that voice and being at that table, because one of the things I know about the Go team, you can advocate and say, hey, this is what we want to see. These are the resources that I think and that we feel should be provided for our students. And also with the PTA as well. I'm not sure if you are a member or part of that, but I would, suggest there's a way, or if someone's on there, to push and advocate for the things that you would like to see based on your experience and your sister's experience.
Yes, ma'am. I'm not a part of the PTA. I'm trying to get connected. It's a work in progress.
Well, we have someone here, Ms. Paula Cooper Smith, who is the director or executive director over the PTA, and I'll be happy to connect you with her.
Please.
She can get you going.
And I screenshotted her number earlier, so I was gonna hit her up after the phone after this meeting. But I am, like I said, I am open to the change, and it sounds like the district is gonna be open to changes coming this year. I hope so, Board Member Mitchell, because it was crazy last year.
It was.
So let me ask you this: how would it look like for more accountability? And I'm not saying just for students, but like for leadership as well, because that's an influx that I saw last year. It was like students are being held to the line, but then adults are not. But it's like, if you read the employee handbook and the student handbook, it gives you best practices on governing both. But that was not happening. Like, it was a one-sided slate.
And again, we before you answer, Board Member Mitchell, gonna let that be your last question. But if you have any more questions, we're gonna try to hear from everybody, and then we can come back to you after that. After she answers this question.
Okay.
I would say we hold everyone accountable, and if you're not seeing it on the school level, and this is just me being your school board member, because that's what we're supposed to do, address concerns. You need to notify us what is not happening. And then we'll take it to administration for them to look into these matters that you having issues with.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate that, King. So now we'll go to Miss Beverly. You can come off mute.
Thank you so much. How are you, Board Member Erica
Hey,
Mitchell?
Ms. Rice, how are you?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. It's good to see you and welcome back. We've been missing you.
I know I've been missing y'all. I've been working so much. I was like, I got to cut back my work hours because I haven't been as active as I usually am with my community. So here I am.
Well, thank you for being here. I have two questions, actually. The first question is, do you have a timeline as to, you talked about the equity and talked about looking at the data. Is there a timeline for that, or is this something that's going to be ongoing?
Well, I know with the equity audit, I'm not sure what the timeline is for that. I know we received the grant to do the audit. I don't know how long it takes.
Okay.
So that I know that will be ongoing. We did, and we will continue to have those equity retreats where we discuss those data. So I don't know if we do it quarterly or not, but we did do it. We did do the equity retreat back in the spring to discuss what some of the findings were, where they were moving, how they were implementing next steps. So I don't have the information for you now, but I'll be happy to email you and update you on that.
Thank you so much. My second question is, when we talk about equity, when we see that we have purchased or engaged in a program that's really not the best fit for our students, how do we handle that? Is that some concern that a constituent would have to bring to the board or to their board member? Or let's take, for reading, we have a lot of different, reading. I heard on the radio today that reading has not improved. As a matter of fact, it went down last year throughout the state, and they're actually giving another grant. How do you measure that? Do you continue in the same vein that you're going, or do you try to switch and move to something that may be more progressive for the students?
I know one of the things we did, we went to, I call it OG because Michelle says OG all the time, Ortha Gillum reading format.
Orton Gillingham.
Orton Gillingham, yes, thank you. It is the theory on how reading should be taught. The theory from the teacher being it teaches the teachers how to teach reading from their ideology, from their theory base, and then it's in the classroom, and then it goes to practical. So that's now being done consistently across the district. At first, it wasn't. I mean, the different clusters, I know the Grady cluster really focused on that. I mean, not Grady, Midtown cluster now really focused on that in the past, and now it's been rolled out district-wide. So when you have concerns on what's working and what's not working, that you can always contact me, but it definitely goes to the administration because that's what they're tasked with and what they do. We as a board member can tell you, hey, we want to see reading improve. Is the will of the administration to implement the practice and the programming and how that is done. So that's something that we have hands off, but I'm open door. You can always call me, email me if you have any questions about it that I could definitely get to the administration to answer any questions that you may have for that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you, Ms. Beverly. We'll now hear from Waukesha.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. Hey, Erica. Hey, you guys. I hope all is well. I've been going to, and I do go to all the Go Team meetings, and two things are very troubling, and I don't want to just use the pandemic because I feel like now that's being an excuse. The reading level and math, and y'all need to look at social studies, this is everybody, are very bad. When you have 3 through 8, they in the red, like they not even beginning readers, that's a problem. And these kids are moving along. And this is public information, nothing new. It's happening all across the board. And I love how the principals try to present it as, we making some increases, or we doing better than this school. But the truth of the matter is, we have a problem in this city with crime right now. What is APS really doing? To the young man who just spoke, a lot of these jobs are top heavy. It seemed like when the pandemic money came, there were positions created instead of resources going to these schools. Now, you're absolutely right. Principals do have the flexibility and autonomy, and I urge everyone to go see the school budget at the Go Team meeting, and you won't say, oh, they get more than we do. It's how your principals spend it. And I think we as the community has to start getting double involved to say, hey, at public comments at your school, we don't want this, and this is not working for our baby. Because Erica, we years out past the cheating scandal. We 2 years into the pandemic. There is absolutely no way our babies are doing this bad in reading, math, science, social. That is absolutely unacceptable. And guess what? Our city is reflecting it. So what is APS really doing other than those 30 minutes? Because I can tell you, we have a terrible problem with suspension. These kids are not being absent. They're being suspended. Why? We don't have enough staff. What are we doing about that? Something has to be done, or we have a generation of kids that's going to truly be let down. So I land.
Thank you, Waukesha. And I will follow up with you.
Okay.
Yes, I'll follow up with you.
Any more questions?
I just have a question. It's about, of course, Maze. I don't know if I could speak freely, but I just want to know, can you look into the ESOL teachers? I believe that we're missing the ESOL teachers, and there's about 34 students that's not being serviced correctly. I will be filing complaints with the educational advocates tasked with governing the safety of our students. I just want you to look into that, though, Board Member Mitchell.
Okay, I will. I sure will. I just wrote a note to do it.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. I see Paula has her hand.
Hi, everyone. Erica, thank you very much for having a community meeting at 5 o'clock on a weeknight. It's very, very helpful. I just wanted to very quickly call everyone's attention to the chat. There is this coming Thursday evening a community PTA meeting. We are going to vote on the budget. That will take members, but the evening is open to also speaking with Chief Applin about current safety and security measures at our schools. So everyone is welcome. You do not have to be a PTA member to attend, and the Zoom flyer is in the chat. And I just wanted to thank you for working so hard on National Attendance Month. And I wondered if there was going to be any measuring or measurement or success markers coming out of the month of September to share with the community to see if our focus got us anywhere, and to maybe qualify why our children aren't back at the level that we would like them to be on a regular basis. Is there a plan for that?
I don't know. I'm writing it down right now as you speak, so I can follow up and see what administration is going to do about that.
It would be great to maybe sort of a way to spur everyone on, that when we put some focus on this and put it out there into social media and into the parents' heads, what did we get back, and how can we all help, and how can PTA help throughout the year to boost, making school a place that the children and the parents feel comfortable attending.
Yes,
Paula, this is Cynthia. I think and this is admittedly a little bit higher up view than you're talking about, very specifically about September, but that's exactly what our student outcomes focused governance work is going to be helping us do. Because as we focus on student outcomes, that's why it's called that, every single month, our board meeting will become more and more directed that way. And so like this past month at the September board meeting, we had a presentation on numeracy. The month before, we talked about literacy. We will be doing a deep dive and a focus every month. Now, let me say, we are all learning how to do this. We've had practice sessions, but the administration is learning how to present the information in line with SOFG. And then we as board members are learning how to question and prod and ask exactly those questions that you've just asked. So look for more of that as time goes on, and I think you will see a real improvement as we focus on each of these goals and guardrails. And of course, one of the guardrails is about engagement. So
Right.
that'll very much down PTA's alley.
Right. So as someone who has just opened up, new Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts for Atlanta Council of PTAs to share all of these things of the month, or to partner, or to engage, and to assist and support. I am curious. I mean, the rollout on You Matter and the month of September, has been an intense one. So maybe, people don't hit a target if they can't see it, right? Having been in sales too long in my life, you put the goal out there. Did we achieve it? So each time we goal one of these things in front of the community, and that is everyone here in family engagement, Keith and everybody else, and you all working so hard toward the goal of making sure that our children matter enough to be comfortable and excited to come back to school. How did we do? How did we do in September? Like, what did the rollout net us all? And how do I help share the great things that happened in the month of September and how we improved? Or maybe what we found out that didn't work so well. But that, like, when we do these rollouts, and I know the intensity to add a hashtag, to think about that and all that, how did we hit? Did we hit? Did we miss? What's it look like? I would love to see more of that in real time, because that's where you're asking all of us to meet you, is a lot more social.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, you guys. Great job.
And that's all. Where I will be sending out an email for the next meeting, but I will definitely follow up with individuals that I mentioned. I will with a phone call next week, just to get some more of your feedback. Yeah, I'm just looking at all this, but so we will end at 6:28. Give you about 2 minutes back of your times, but thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight.
All right. Thank you, everyone.